Welcome back, and in this lesson I want to show you how to do a full section view. And on exercise 7.14, well, this is in the 14th edition of your book. It is the bearing, and I want to take off and I want to draw this. And this is how I would actually start this out: do a sketch, and I'll pick one of the planes, and I want to do a revolve on this, so I'll draw everything halfway. Okay. So I put a line right through the middle of it here, and I take off from that point, and this thing, it has a internal bore. It looks like it is 2.5. So what you want to do is we're just going to do an offset of this, and we're going to do it at 1.25. That is half of 2.5. Alright, so there's the bore going all the way through this thing. And then I've got on the outside 4.31 on the back side, so I'll go ahead and I'll offset another line. And we'll do 4.31 divided by 2. So there's on the back side. The overall length of this whole thing is 7.75, so I can actually dimension this at 7.75. And I'll just go ahead and put me a line down through here to right there, and then I can trim off this excess just like that. And it looks like 0.94 and 0.38 would be the next little piece of it. So it's going to kind of come up about right in here somewhere. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw this in, kind of give us an idea what it's going to look like. Something similar to this, back down, and then it kind of, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it toward the end. I just didn't get it proportioned right, but we'll put our dimensions in here, no problem. So let's trim that out, get rid of that, and then we shall, let's get rid of this little line. I don't know where that came from. But anyways, I want to just delete that right there, and I'll delete this line out, and then I'll just go ahead and connect these here at the bottom. We'll do more in a minute with those. So we can go ahead and start dimensioning some of this out. From this point here, it does have a nose on it, and from this point to this point is 0.56. So it's really going to shift a lot there. The top piece there is 0.38. So this little section here is going to be 0.38 from here to there. 0.375. And then, of course, from here to here is going to be, it looks like 0.94. So we got that in there at this point. Got this portion, all of that's in there. Now, now we got to get our diameters correct on this. Okay, 3.75, 4. So this is 4.12 right here. So I can dimension from here to there, and it should be 4.12 divided by 2. That gets that down in the right spot. Then you'll notice we have another little, like a little groove that comes in here, like a fillet, and it looks round there, and it goes to 3.75, and it says fillet and rounds on this is 0.12. So I'm just going to put me a offset. I'm just going to go right there with an offset to right in there, dimension this thing. And it says that they want a 3.75 divided by 2, so we know that the point's going to end right there. And it's looking to me like we're going to have a 0.12 fillet in there. So let me just measure something. I want to see what this distance is from there to there. It's 0.185. Okay. Oh, radius of 0.19. So radius of 0.19 is what it is. I'm sorry about that. So let's go in there and dimension this and see what that is. 0.19. So I'm imagining they're thinking 0.185 because that's what I'm measuring. So that's what we're going to put in it, and that'll be pretty simple and pretty easy. Just come up here, and there's different ways that we could put this in. We could do an arc if we wanted to, or we can do a circle. It really wouldn't matter. Let's just use a circle, and I come in here and I go from there and just come down and touch that point like that, and then trim everything up just like this. And that should be dead on the money with a 0.185. It's asking for a 0.19, but I think they're just rounding it up. So I just delete that line out. We don't need that anymore. I do need to get the overall diameter of this, which is, looks like to me, is 10.221 from here to the center. So 10.221 divided by 2 gets that down, and then here to here is 9.75 divided by 2 is perfect. So basically we've got everything in there. Finish this thing up, and what we're going to do is I want to revolve it with a revolve in my three-dimensional. So I pick up my part, my axis is this, and you can tell that you want to do a full 360 degree, and it'll put that in there for you just like that, and you would have that drawn in there and ready to go. Now there is a fillet actually right here, and it says on here 0.12 fillet, so you can come up here and on your fillet and click on that 0.12, and your edges, click on that. You put that little edge in there, apply that, and I'm not really seeing a whole lot of rounds on this just by eyesight. That's the only one I see besides inside of this little groove. There is a groove in this, so I need to go back and fix that. To go back, of course, you go to your sketch that you worked with. I'll turn this one around here just a little bit, and I'm going to put that in there, and there is like a little spot. And let's go in there and get some more information on this. It's 3 inches to the center of that, so line first, let's see what the width of that little groove. Oh, the groove is 0.75 wide. So from here to here is 0.75, and then we've got 3 inches here. It's going to the center of this. So what I would do is take 3 minus 0.375 is half of 0.75, and that should, let me make sure I didn't throw off my entire, what the overall is 7.75. So that one definitely needs to be put back in there to get it all the exact length. And right in the center of this should be exactly 3 inches now. Now the height of this thing from there to there is supposed to be 0.19, so we'll go ahead and put that depth in there, 0.19, and then we'll go ahead and trim all this stuff out. Just like that, and then we'll put us, you can go ahead and put your fillets in. You can do it now or wait. They're asking for a 0.12 on this, so you can go ahead and put them in now. That way you don't have to do it later. When you finish that sketch, it'll put that in there for you, put that groove. It looks just like that. Now this got a hole in it too, and we can go ahead and put that hole in there. This would be how you would do that. Let's put that hole in there. Let's go to the top, and there's different ways you can do it. What I want to do is come over here, and I want to make me a new plane. So I just hit, I'm in 3D mode right now, feature mode, hit plane, come over here, and just click like that right there. I've got that plane on there, and all I have to do is come up here and kind of hover, and you see how it puts a tangent to the top of it, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I put that on there just like that. I just do a new sketch, and I'm just going to put, I can put a point in there or just put a hole in it. Oh, I thought I started a new sketch. We will right there. Let's click on it. I'm just going to go in there and put this hole right there, and this hole that's in it is it's 0.25 diameter, and everything should be right. I just got to make sure it's centered up in here Should be 0.375, it's half of 3/4. And now it looks like it's lined up good. It looks like it's in the center. So I finished the sketch out, and I'm going to extrude and do a cut. And we'll just do distance to the bore, and it should cut all that out for us. It did. So there's that hole that we have in it. I want to right click on that and turn the visibility off. And now we got to put your holes in the front of it, then we'll have it completely made. Now remember, this thing, the holes are offset on this thing just a little bit. Just taking a look at it here. So what I want to do is just turn this thing, turn it around this way, new sketch, and we are going to put these 4 holes in this thing. And this is the way that I would do it, because that hole is right here and they need to be offset. So the thing of it is, if you go into your calculator and you take 360 degrees and you divide it by 4, it's going to be 90 degrees. Okay, so divide that by 2 and you're going to be 45 degrees to the left or to the right when we start this out. So this is what I would do. I'd come in here and put that in, and we'll get us another line here, and we'll just do a dimension, and we'll make sure it's 45 degrees just like that. And then I'll put me a circle, and that circular pattern on this thing is 7.26 diameter, and right there will be their first hole. So I want to put a point there just like that. I could do it by holes, or I could actually do it, or I could just extrude it out. It wouldn't matter. So I'm just going to finish that out. Go in here, hit extrude, or not extrude, but hole, and in here it's just going to be just a straight hole through this thing. It's going to be through all, and the diameter on that is 0.75 diameter, and I just hit OK on that. Just a through hole all the way through. I'm in feature mode. I can jump in here and do circular pattern, and this is my pattern, and this is my rotational axis, would be this circle here, and I only need 4 of those. So hit OK, and you've got them. Now if you want to put an axis in this thing, you can by coming up here to work features, hit axis, and then just catch that cylinder, and it'll put your work axis in there too. So there you go. We've got that part put in there. I want to save this one. Desktop. We'll call this one, we'll name this one week 10. And let's save that. And when I do that, now I want to go in with a brand new in IDW, put this into a drawing, which won't take just a second or two. Okay, and on here that sheet might be a little bit too large, so I'm going to edit my sheet. Let's put this thing on maybe a B-size paper. That would look good. That's perfect. So bring your base view in, and what I want to do is put it in the front view like this. That would be really good, and that's perfect just like that. Hit OK on that, and now I can take, and I probably want to scale it up just a little bit. Edit view, and it's at a 1/4 scale. Let's go 1:1. Oh, it's way too big. Let's do a 1/2 scale. That looks about right. And then when you want to do a full section, that means you're going to cut all the way down this thing. And I'll be honest with you, we probably would be better off if we rotated this around to these holes are exactly up and down. And you can do that by clicking on this, right click, and going down to rotate. And I want to rotate by an absolute angle. and you can do 45 and OK just like that. That way I get these holes lined straight up. And what I want to do is just take and project it over. Not project it, but actually do a section. Hit section here, click on this, come straight up, come all the way down just like that. Right click continue, and I can bring this over, and there is my section view of this object. Now really and truly it would be nice, and we could rotate that back around and catch this, but it'll want to take in, and it won't want it to revolve our circular patterns right there. Exactly right. So this would be fine for what we're doing. Now I just take and project me another. I want to take and project. I'll just go over here in base, and we'll do an isometric view. I don't like that view. Catch that one right there. That's what I want right there. And I want it to be solid, so I hit OK. It didn't save it as solid, but I'll put it right up there, and we can change it real quick. Edit view, make sure it's on solid. OK. And basically there is your full section view of this, and I want you guys to go in there and I want you to annotate this and put your dimensions in, put your center lines in, and all those things that accompany a drawing, and fill out your title box, and then submit this one. You'll have one more drawing this week, and it's going to be it's a fairly simple drawing, and it's a clamp. So get that one and do a full section on that. Just go all the way through it with a full section and submit that one. If you have any questions this week, just let me know.